In a bright, busy jungle full of sounds and colors, there lived a young parrot named Pallo. Like all parrots, he used to chatter all day long. He copied the monkeys' giggles, the elephants' trumpets, and even the laughing sound of the children who sometimes visited the edge of the jungle. "Hello! Hello!" he would shout from the treetops, and everyone knew Pallo's cheerful voice. But one stormy night, a loud clap of thunder shook the trees. Pallo got such a big fright that he flew into a thick branch and bumped his head. The next morning, when he woke up, something strange had happened. When he opened his beak to say good morning, no words came out. Only a tiny, squeaky peep slipped into the air. Pallo tried again. Hell! But his tongue felt heavy, and the sounds were all wrong. Peep, peep, he managed. Other parrots stared at him in surprise. "What's wrong with your voice?" one asked. "Why don't you talk like before?" said another. Pallo's cheeks burned under his feathers. He flew to a quiet branch, far from the others, and hung his head. "Maybe I'm a broken parrot now," he thought sadly. What kind of parrot can't even talk? Day after day, he listened to the jungle chatter but stayed silent. The more he worried, the harder it became to speak. Soon the animals began to say, "That's Pallo, the parrot who forgot how to talk." One afternoon, an old wise turtle named Timo slowly walked under Pallo's tree. He noticed the usually noisy parrot sitting quietly, staring at his own feet. "Why so quiet up there?" Timo called. Parrots' words are usually louder than the river. Pallo fluttered down to a low branch and whispered, I can't talk anymore. After the big storm, my words disappeared. Now when I try, nothing comes out right." Timo blinked kindly and said, "Sounds don't disappear. Sometimes they just hide." Maybe your words are hiding because you're too afraid to let them out. Pallo tilted his head. "But I already tried," he said. "I opened my beak and it was just peeps." Timo smiled. "When you first learned to fly, did you fly high on the first try?" Pallo remembered all the times he had fallen into bushes while learning to fly. "No," he admitted. "I flapped and fell many times." "Exactly," said Timo. "Talking is like flying. You have to practice again slowly. Start with one little sound, then another, and be patient with yourself." The next morning, Timo came back with a plan. "We'll practice together," he said. "No one else has to hear." They went to a quiet clearing by the river, where only the soft sound of water flowed. "First, just say, 'Ah,'" Timo instructed. Pallo took a deep breath and tried. Ah, the sound was shaky and small, but it was real. "Good," said Timo. Again, they practiced simple sounds. Ah, O, E. Some came out squeaky, some too soft, and sometimes nothing came out at all. But every time Pallo tried, Timo nodded and encouraged him. "You're doing better than yesterday," he would say. After a few days, Timo added simple words. "Say hi," he suggested. Pallo squeezed his eyes shut and tried. "Hi," he whispered. It wasn't clear, but it was there. Joy jumped inside his chest. "I said a word." He squawked, louder than he expected. "See?" Timo laughed. "Your words were never gone. They were just sleeping." Pallo practiced every day now, repeating small words like hi, bye, sun, and tree. Sometimes he stumbled over sounds and wanted to give up, but he remembered how patient he'd been when learning to fly. "If I don't stop, I'll get better," he told himself. One day, a group of children came to the edge of the jungle, as they sometimes did. They looked up at the trees and called, "Hello, parrots." The other parrots answered easily, but Pallo hesitated. His heart beat fast. "What if I make a silly sound?" he thought. Then he heard Timo's calm voice in his memory. Your words are hiding because you're afraid. Pallo took a deep breath, puffed up his chest, and decided to be brave. In a clear, careful voice, he called back, hello. The word wobbled a little, but it was real, and loud enough for the children to hear. They gasped and clapped. The parrot talked to us. They cried happily. The other parrots turned to look at Pallo in surprise and delight. You can talk again, one of them shouted. Pallo felt a warm pride spread through him. I'm still learning, he replied slowly, but yes, I can talk. From that day on, Pallo kept practicing a little every morning and every evening. His words became clearer. His sentences got longer. And soon he could copy the monkeys' laughs and the children's giggles once more. But he was different now. He was kinder and more patient, especially with anyone who struggled or felt shy. When a young parrot chick one day stuttered over his first word and looked embarrassed, Pallo perched beside him and said, It's okay. I once forgot how to talk, too. Just practice, little by little. Your voice is still inside you. The chick's eyes grew wide. Really? You forgot? Pallo nodded, smiling. Yes, and that's how I learned something important. Even if you fall silent for a while, your voice is never truly lost. With patience, courage, and practice, it always finds its way back. And so, in the noisy, colorful jungle, Pallo was no longer known as the parrot who forgot how to talk, but as the parrot who taught everyone that it's okay to struggle as long as you never stop trying.